Breaking news this morning, former British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, known as the Iron Lady, has died at the age of 87. We're going to go straight now to London. I'm Kelsey Hubbard. Welcome to the News Hub. We're going to talk with Cassell Brian Lowe about this woman who led London and England through a difficult time and is well known, of course, throughout history as for the first and only woman Prime Minister of England. Cassell, thanks for joining us this morning.
Hi, Kelsey.
So what is sort of happening in London right now, in England, as the news has broken this morning that Margaret Thatcher has died?
Right, so Margaret Thatcher's spokesman has confirmed that she died today, and she died of a stroke, and already you're starting to get tributes coming in. The Queen has sent a tribute, as has the current Prime Minister here in the UK, David Cameron. He's currently travelling in Europe, and he's planning to cut that trip short and come back to the UK this afternoon.
And she was very, very well known as somebody who turned around the country in terms of her financial thoughts, in terms of deregulation and things like that. Give us a little bit of a history of how she really changed the country being Prime Minister and what her legacy really was.
Well, she's had, out of modern British Prime Ministers, she probably had one of the most transformative effects on Britain of any recent leader. That said, she was also quite divisive. As you say, she embraced free market economics and championed individual choice. And so, that changed Britain's economy. But at the same time, she was very tough on trade unions. That was very controversial. And there were various other things that she did. So there were mixed feelings about her here in the UK, but regardless of what you feel, she certainly left one of the biggest marks on Britain of recent prime ministers.
Certainly one of the things that stands out was her fight with the National Union of Mine Workers in 1984. Tell us that whole saga, and really she held out and she really changed the way things were done, didn't she?
Exactly. So against a lot of opposition, it was a massive deal here, and there were very tough unions. But she stood up against them, and she broke the unions. And as I said, that was one of the more controversial things here, which won her a lot of enemies, but also has won her a lot of fans.
And a lot of us here in the United States remember her very close relationship with our President Ronald Reagan. And of course, we said at the top, she had the nickname the Iron Lady. And part of that was her fight against communism, which brought those two together, certainly leaders at the time. That had a significant effect, of course, on the world.
Yep, she had sort of very vigorous foreign policy, and as you said, that contributed to the end of the Cold War. Her and President Reagan were close allies. They had sort of similar views on the free market economics and the individual choice, and so that led them together on the same side in the fight of the East against West.
All right, Cassell, thank you so much for joining us this morning and bringing us some insight on this breaking news this morning about Margaret Thatcher. We appreciate it.